Hi there, welcome to FMCG by Alex. Today I would like to guide you through an introduction to FMCG marketing. This is not a complete course, so there are many more experts who have far more knowledge about FMCG marketing than I do. I'm more a salesperson, but I've studied marketing, so I would like to share with you my hands on experience. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. For those of you familiar with my videos, I always start with the why, so the purpose of marketing. Originally, what was meant to increase sales. That is actually original definition of marketing. For me, it's explaining in a way why your brand is worth the price you're selling it at. You have brands that are, let's say, high end. There are brands that are mid price. There are brands that are low price, so more budget brands. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a position in the market. Then the why in addition to the what. So what you do, it's the product, you sell cookies or something like that. And the why, so what is the story behind the brand? That is basically what I believe the purpose of marketing to be. With the danger of rehashing some old textbooks from school or from university where you usually have seen this before, start with the marketing mix. That's the four P's. uh, First is product. So the product you have, the features, the benefits, the functional benefits, the emotional benefits. Functional benefits are benefits that, what is the product do, and emotional benefits are what how does it make you feel when you use it. So that is, in a nutshell, the P of product. Then place. So where do you sell it? Some products need to be sold in very exclusive places. Some products benefit from being everywhere. That is more on the FMCG is more towards place with regards to ever being everywhere. Then promotion. So how do you promote the product? You can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, you know, is it actually the best product in the world? So that is the best kept secret in the world, maybe. Promotion is also, trying to do something to make consumers interested in the product. And last but not least, the price. Price is, of course, a very important P in the four Ps. Are you higher priced or lower priced than your competitor? Are you on par? And how does it compare to the benefits that you convey to customers for your product? So if you have more benefits, but your price is higher, that could be worth it, could not be worth it. So it's perceived by the customers. It's always relative to what is acceptable in the market. So sometimes the market moves up. Products that used to be relevant and have a certain price point might not be relevant because they have been overtaken. If you see, for example, in Indonesia, the milk industry, because supply chain was a bit of a problem, the UHT milk market, UHT milk prices have really dropped compared to uh, the availability of fresh milk, pasteurized milk, basically. So this is one of the reasons why consumers, the premium consumers that used to buy UHT milk, they have moved to pasteurized milk. So it's more like an upgrade of the product, or upgrade of the requirements of the consumer relative to the price. So what used to be probably the A brand of UHT milk might now be the A brand of pasteurized milk they are looking for. Then we come to brand marketing. So brand marketing is marketing your brand. So you have a product that you put on the shelf and you market the product. So get this product does this for you. But in the end, a brand is something broader than that. So you have maybe multiple products that you are selling under the same brand. Now, what does that brand convey to people? So the positioning of your brand, is your position premium? Are you selling to premium customers? Are you, selling to budget-minded customers or price-sensitive customers? So these customer personas are important to map. So you have certain idea of like who is your customer. That is, I think, important in brand marketing, because you have to adapt your message. You communicate through advertising, through press releases, through social media, through anything on the shelf. Also, the POS material, point of sale material, that has to convey this message. Being consistent is also very important. There are brands that used to be very successful and then suddenly they change their message. Yeah, then customers are confused. So this is actually something that used to be, something for that. Now it's something for something else. I'm confused about the message of a brand. There are several brands examples that I can give. There's a beer brand from the US that has completely been wiped off the map. They changed their message 3 times in the course of about 10 years and, yeah, effectively really eroded their market share because of that. Then going further on the customer persona, so you need to build these customer personas. So who are your customers? So what is the typical customer? So you put an age, you put a ethnicity, you put maybe several customers that have different use cases for your product. And then brand marketing, in my opinion, like I said in the very first part of this presentation, storytelling. So you need to tell the story of your brand. The story of your brand is very important because it's not only the what, but also the why. So why are you doing this? So where does it come from? It's a good example. It's a basically a commodity, but it's an example that I've seen in the Netherlands by myself. There was a supermarket that I was selling my product, and at some point, the guy who owned the supermarket, it's a independent company, they were basically saying to me, "So, do you have something that I could put next to the shelf to explain where your product is from?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I do." So he said, "Yeah, because the example was that there were blueberries that he sold. So it's basically produce." And he said, "I put it there for a week, put it all in the trash because nobody bought it. And then the next week, when the supplier came again, they said, let's try again, but then do this." And he put uh, basically a sign next to it saying this has been grown in this farm very close by, etc., etc. And these are the people who grow it. He sold it out in the day. So that was the difference between it's there and you don't tell people what it is and why they should buy it, to the story behind the brand. So people would like to have an idea behind it. So the same thing is like I am the co-owner of a coffee brand in Bali. This is something that has a very strong story because Bali, of course, is a an island, paradise island, holiday destination. You have an idea of like, okay, this is grown by Balinese farmers. There is waterfall. There are palm trees. Now the imagery that I'm now telling you about is now in your head. So this is one of the things that comes to mind when you do a story about you know a brand. The social impact also is very important because this Balinese brand is like it's a family company. So originally it was a family company. These are coffee farmers. Coffee farmers, they sell it to middlemen, and middlemen sell it to big brands who take away all the identity of the product and put it on the big pile and then package it and sell it as generic. Now, rather than that, we were looking at giving it its own identity. The story behind is okay. We started the brand, or she's the original owner. I'm basically someone who came in later, of course. The original owner started the brand to help the family. So it's family in Bali to market their coffee and get a better price in the end for the coffee. So this is a very sympathetic social impact story, which really resonates with not only consumers but also retailers. And retailers also have the need to convey social impact stories to their customers because we are supporting farmers. Now, that's a very strong message here in the Netherlands. Also, we have a very strong support for farmers. We know it's not easy to be a farmer. There's a lot of regulations here in the Netherlands, where they have to comply. So the sympathy to help farmers and buy local produce is very, very strong. If you know where it comes from, you know the story of the farmer. That's another story. You rather buy from them than from an unknown corporation that has no name and has no face. So that's actually the brand that I am telling you about, the story of the brand. Then I am coming to types of marketing. You might have heard of these. There is above the line, ATL, below the line, BTL, and through the line, TTL. Above the line is in essence everything that you see on television. So let's say the good example of an above the line uh, marketing is a TV commercial or something that is more towards the brand and doesn't really have a direct selling or a direct call to action in the sense of buy this now, discounted, etc. That's more tactical. That will be more below the line. So below the line is also everything that you see in the point of sale. So if you are in the supermarket, you see a sign, there is a promotion, there is maybe a booth, there is an event. That is all below the line. Through the line, it connects the two. So if you look at through the line, it is more a connection between above the line and below the line. You don't know where the line is anymore. In essence, that is maybe the funny part of it. Online, so currently, yeah, in the past, when you don't have online yet, when online didn't exist, let's say in the 80s, when it was not widely used in the 90s yet, you had brands who were putting something out there and did not connect it to an online campaign. So where you are touching the consumer in multiple levels. So currently, if you do something only online, it's not through the line. So you are connecting it to an activity in the store. So we used to have this thing. I work for a company called Uvid. Uvid has done a lot of good work on connecting the in-store activities with online activities. So we had, of course, in Uvid also these direct call to actions. Okay, buy this on this e-commerce platform, direct advertising a product and looking to get some result in the form of sales. So it didn't drive people to retailers. So if you look at online versus offline, so not through the line in essence. So you're looking at a multi-level way of interacting with consumers because even the idea of, let's say, when you have influencers that say something good about your product in a video and then they appear, for example, in the offline, the retail store that you are selling your product, that is a good example of connecting the two. So you're talking about, yeah, the new reality actually, where you should look at it from multiple dimensions. So this is, I think, the natural evolution of marketing. It did exist before, obviously, but currently, I think everyone has, all these technological advances actually that really make it very easy, even for small brands, to shoot 5 TikTok videos, a couple of Instagram posts, Facebook posts. You connect everything. You make a video, you upload it to YouTube, you tag the outlet that you are selling your product in when you're there, and you are doing a live feed, for example. So all these things are at your fingertips at this moment. So there is no excuse not to say like, oh, this is too expensive or I can't do it. You can do it with your handphone in essence. So that is what I'm trying to say here. These are the types of marketing that I wanted to tell you about. Then we go to choices to make in 2024, because yeah, I can tell you all these things that you could have looked up in textbooks, I guess, nothing new in the end. But for me, the insights I want to provide to you is that in 2024, online ATL is the norm. You have still, of course, very impactful television commercials, but you have found that doing online ads, so basically YouTube ads or video ads, basically, or anything basically advertising online, which is top of funnel. You don't do something with a direct call to action or tactical promotions, basically. That is currently something that is probably, yeah, it will shift, but currently it is the best way to spend your budget. So if you look at bang for the buck, and I know the reason that that is the case is it's measurable. So the best bang for the buck is you measure exactly what you spend and what you get back for it. So the number of clicks you pay per click, basically. While if you air your TVC at television commercial on a terrestrial channel, the issue is that it might not be seen by as many people as you would like. It might not be seen by the people that you target, because that's something that online advertising can target. So you're looking at really strengthening your brand that way, relevant ads for people. But yeah, that's I think the issue that online you can laser focus your. It's like a television station, but it's focused. So you only reach the people that you've identified as your target customers. Sometimes that definition has a problem. So the TVC is like a machine gun, and this one is like a sniper rifle. That is what I'm trying to say here. Sometimes you shoot the wrong person, obviously, with a sniper rifle, is the wrong target. But the machine gun, yeah, it sprays a lot of bullets, but in the end, you will not, maybe not hit the right thing either. Then in 2024, also the story becomes more important. So, not only the what, but also the why. So it was already important before, but it becomes more and more important because it's the only way to differentiate yourself. Like everybody has good quality, everybody has all these different flavors. Product, the P of product is there. The price is actually something you can't differentiate yourself indefinitely with. You can't give it away for free in the end. And place, as in the for marketing piece, marketing mix piece, you basically place is also something that is very relative. So you look at product as a differentiator, and not only the functional benefits but also the emotional benefits. The emotional benefits are also derived from the story behind it. How does it make you feel when you buy this product? So I'm just going to go into this in a little bit more detail. There are several things that I think are relevant with regards to emotional benefits of products. So, in essence, this is something that comes from evolutionary psychology. You're looking at how cool does something make me when I buy it. So, use Ferrari, clearly, I have status symbol. It can also go to the level of FMCG brands. So there are certain brands that like Nespresso coffee. I used to work for a guy who, very nice guy, was not definitely not a stuck up person, but he would tell me like, oh no, I don't drink that sort of coffee. Like when it was just normal filter coffee, no, I drink Nespresso. So basically, yeah, I'm someone with taste. I'm someone with I have a refined taste. I'm a coffee lover, therefore I drink Nespresso. Now, is Nespresso the best coffee in the world? I don't know. It's very subjective for everybody, but I mean, it has that uh, air, it has that positioning. It is the premium. It's expensive, therefore exclusive. So that is basically the thing that gives an emotional benefit to this gentleman, except for it being delicious coffee, obviously, but it makes him feel more exclusive. Like, look, I have barista quality coffee at home through my Nespresso machine. Now, then another choice to make in 2024 is smaller brands may start with BTL mainly, so below the line. So you're talking about in-store activity. You might not have a budget, you might not have time, you might not have a team. Don't completely ignore ATL, but start mainly with BTL, so store level. It's inside a store. You have the first store you get in, support it well, dress up your display, do a promotion, do some sort of activity, sampling, for example. Like you need to really go into yeah all out. In essence, you have to go all out to convey the benefits of your product to and your brand to consumers in this case. So smaller brands with a small budget, I would say, like make sure the first store works. If you fail to sell in the first store, you might scratch your head and say, is this the right product? Do I still need to go back to the drawing board and refine my product? Do I need to have different pack sizes? Do I need to change my packaging, etc., etc.? Then the use of influencers becomes very common already. So you have influencers in different um, categories. So you have large influencers; they have like millions of followers. You have influencers that maybe have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, thousands, and a couple of hundred. So this is from micro to nano, etc. Now, the big influencers, they also become a little bit like terrestrial TV stations because there are a lot of people who follow them who are not part of your audience. So The thing is also that this has been commercialized. Okay, I'll become a YouTuber, push some products, and sell some advertising. These people are expensive. It becomes maybe more expensive to get something posted by a like someone who's famous on YouTube to endorse your product. So it already is not the cheap option to do. In the past, maybe when prices were lower, it's still very beneficial, even if the results were not as spectacular as they had hoped. But the idea is also that a lot of these companies now find out the hard way that, oh, this guy pushed soap this week, then he pushed a soft drink, and the next week he pushed the competitor's product. Like anything commercialized, they will do, and their fans also know, like, okay, this is my guy. I actually watch his or her show, but in the end, it's fake. They actually just push whatever they are paid for. So it's not real anymore. So in the end, these not a real endorsement. I've used this product, I love it, etc. This is something that you have to imagine that. Yeah, would you buy something that a YouTuber would endorse, even if you like watching their show, like the content that they produce? Might not necessarily want to buy the product that they are pushing. So this is one of the things that we are experiencing these days. So I have worked with some of the big guys on the influencer side. So people with 10 million followers on Instagram, for example. So we had brands completely geared towards these influencers. Apart from one example many years ago, where it maybe the early stages of this phenomenon, that it worked, and there were several that didn't work because various reasons, and maybe the match of product and influencer was not there. Now, what a lot of companies do these days, and that is also something I think brilliant by the UVIT marketing team, is that they are looking more at small influencers, so nano influencers. They don't have a big following yet. They're still hungry. They still are real, like real as in they don't have the luxury of a lot of sponsorship deals, and they're not. They might be swayed by money, but I mean, they're still honestly looking at pushing their channel and growing their channel. Now, one of the things that UVIT, the vitamin brand that is active in a lot of Asian countries, is to create their own influencers. So they have a couple of nutritionists that they had started a channel, and push them or support them to grow that channel to become also more or less celebrities, I guess. So these people are working for UVIT. They're on the payroll, and they are giving valuable content in the form of nutritional advice. So they're nutritionists, so they tell you what works together. And of course, there is product placement for UVIT. But I mean, this is one of the examples where you create your own nano influencers in essence. And I thought that was a very good and imaginative way of using marketing budget, and circumventing a little bit, like these big guys who are pushing too much. And there's one of the people I've worked with, like, I think he's been the spokesperson for maybe 100 brands by now. Very nice gentleman, very smart, and also not that he did not have some success and that what people don't buy when he is pushing it, but I think at some point you can spread yourself too thin and you become, basically what people view as a commercial sellout, and that is actually what we want to avoid. So small influencers, they're maybe still affordable. They are still willing to work with you, you know, on an equal basis, like rather than, how much do you offer, how much do you offer, etc. So this is one of the things I wanted to convey here. Then online campaigns. So you have to make a choice where you're looking at tactical versus strategic. So strategic would be more towards the brand, so pushing the brand. So you're looking at brand benefits, like functional, emotional benefits, your story of the brand, not really to sell. You're looking at more to position the brand in the mind of the consumer, and tactical would be more towards buy this now because there is a discount on this channel, and use this code to redeem it, etc., etc. So that is more a choice between the two. A lot of companies that I've noticed have not really distinguished between them. So there are, large companies obviously have experts, people with a lot of experience in marketing, so that's not relevant to them maybe. But I've seen smaller brands really look at this sort of marketing as you know has to be all tactical because I have to convert my budget into sales. Uh, that is good to some extent. You have to do that as well, but don't forget the strategic side, the ATL side of it. So to position your brand in the minds of the consumer. So videos about the brand, what are the benefits of pure product information, how is it made, maybe some sort of thing about the factory, some background story, etc. So these things are very important for consumers to know, and it helps position the brand inside the mind of the consumer. Then one of the things that, I'm a salesperson, so I have worked on the marketing. I've been in, responsible for both sales and marketing in my life. But the thing is that what I've seen, because I've seen both sides, I know there is sometimes a bit of a cat and dog fight. So cats and dogs, they don't like each other traditionally. So because they don't understand each other, sales and marketing don't understand each other by definition. Like if you look at sales, coming up with a marketing manager and a sales manager, the sales manager would like to know that everything that marketing comes up with is converted into sales. It should be measurable. I spend this much on this campaign, so how many sales is this going to deliver? Marketing is not all about sales. That's why I said tactical versus strategic. That is the thing that you're looking at. Sometimes it's purely about positioning. It's a slow burner where maybe several years from now, people are, reaping the benefits from that. But sales, yeah, when they make a choice, when you give a budget to sales, normally budget should be held by marketing and then distributed to sales, in my opinion. If you look at sales, they are looking to convert everything into tangible sales. So I need something to give a discount. I need something to create a gimmick. I need something to create sales, basically. And marketing has more a yeah idea about distributing it. They know sales is important. Obviously, they're not stupid. But I mean, the thing is that it's not the only way. It's a short-term goal to actually only focus on sales. Now, when I worked for Ultramilk, we had a uh, head of marketing was my mentor. Basically, he's a gentleman from India called Surendra Menon. Very smart guy. He had a lot of activities for us salespeople to like more position the brand, to see like, okay, you have a lot of buzz in the channel, you have a lot of activities in the channel. We were not really, as salespeople, we were always complaining because it was a lot of work. Like at least my team was complaining a lot about the work that was involved. It was they had to evaluate it, they had to arrange it, they had to organize a lot of stuff around it. So as soon as this gentleman was pensioned, so he was already at a respectable age back then, and at some point he went back to India and started consulting business. But the thing was that the first thing that was done was there were three sales divisions. All three sales divisions cut all the activities. I was trying to hold on to a few things because I thought it was a good idea, but I also was swayed by, okay, yeah, I have to perform. I have to actually convert it into sales. Now, okay, let's get rid of this because it is not clear what kind of sales comes out of it. Let's convert it into a promotion, a promo with a gimmick. And, we put in this, we get out that. So very antagonistic approach. And we noticed that I think 1 year around down the line already that we receive complaints from the channel. So yeah, you guys, you don't do anything in the channel actually. So what happened? You you had all these activities, all these events to draw people to our stores, and now what we get from you is promotion. So this is more like a tactical shift rather than the strategic shift basically. And this was actually quite interesting eye opener for me. As young, as, at the start of my career, and he basically, I thought like this is basically something you need to keep in mind, that there has to be a balance between it. And sometimes you can cannibalize, your own future sales by focusing too much on the short term, too much on the tactical. So that can be sales versus marketing as a cat and dog fight sometimes. So that is something I wanted to share with you, and I hope that it helps you make better decisions. And at the very last, I would like to talk about the competition. So the competition also spends their budget, they also have growth on their mind, and they may have better fitting products for the target audience you also target. So that might, not occur to you right away, but when you run a race or you play a match, sports match, you have an opponent. So you don't run alone, you actually run against people, and you play against people basically when you play football, for example. So this is something that you need to keep in mind, that when you create a beautiful marketing campaign, the competition might create one of their own, which their effects might nullify some of your effects, maybe cancel each other out. Oh, we're doing something. Oh, the competition is also doing something at the same time. Consumer can only choose one. Yeah. So that is the thing. So you have attention of the consumer for only one. So this is one of the examples where you used to have in Indonesia, you have a tendency to use bottled water. So the need for bottle, you can't drink from the tap because it's not healthy, or the not sanitary. So the bottled water market is huge there, and usually you have bottled water like 1.5 liter bottles, but you also have gallons. So gallons are transported in Indonesia through very big trucks that are open, sunshine. They shine on the plastic, basically, of that the water is stored in. And there was some research which later on was turned out not to be as severe as thought, but that the sunshine going through the plastic would do something to the water, that it made it not as healthy to drink as it should be. Maybe there are microplastics, etc., which is the always the case when it's plastic bottles. But there was another company that had a policy that company called Amidis, which is they had distilled water. They had a bit of a different approach, and they were transporting their product in closed trucks, so there's no sunshine on the product. They were looking at doing an advertising campaign to emphasize that fact, to capitalize on this interesting fact that suddenly came out, because a lot of people were talking about it and concerned about it, of course. The thing is that the largest company in Indonesia doing water is owned by Danone. It's a brand called Aqua, which owned by Danone Waters, basically. And in order to cancel out this advertising campaign, they bought a lot of advertising space to just uh, go and advertise Aqua. So they're just a generic Aqua advertising, which is a masterstroke, in my opinion, of the marketing team. So it would have been disastrous if they would have, get a share of voice, which is like, the amount of voice that they would get on the uh, television channels. But Aqua really, completely wiped it off the face of the earth, because every 15 seconds, probably in every commercial break, you would get an aqua advert. And the ones that Amidis was much smaller company, so they had less budget, basically. It was too bad, because I mean, this is quite a good product, and of course they had a point at that time, considering the research. But this is a good example of how competition can really affect your message, can affect your marketing, basically. And this is something that you need to keep in mind. So if you look at planning your own advertising or your own marketing campaign, look at what the competition has done, is doing, might plan. So this will help you make better decisions about your own marketing and see how you can time it. So timing is basically the message here that I would like to give you. So this is one of the things that really is underestimated, I think, in the corporate world, because a lot of these companies, they do monitor competition, but not at this level. So even the big companies are, not doing this in a very accurate manner. And yeah, I know you can't really, apart from anything short from corporate espionage, obviously, which is illegal. You can't, of course, see what competition is doing, but there are ways to find facts about what they are planning. If you look at all the sources, that can be their own people, that can be the buyers of the retailers where they are buying space, that can be television stations where they are buying advertising space, historic timing of various campaigns that they have done in the past. It might repeat, for example. So this is usually in this day and age, we don't have time to create something beautiful from scratch. That we are just reusing it or adapting it for use again. This is the thing: if they are very successful with something last year, good chance they do it again this year. So this is one of the things I would like to emphasize for you to, keep in mind when you're doing this. We've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for your attention. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Like I said, I am not a marketing expert. I have a lot of experience in this field, but there are a lot of people who have a lot more experience than me. I would like to share with you what I know also works, and I hope you will reach out to me if you want to ask a specific question. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video. If you don't like the video, please don't. I'm not forcing anyone. Otherwise, hope to see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.